From floating ladders to secret ways to become a pro at building, here are 47 illegal build hacks Mojang doesn't want you to know. Waterlogged blocks completely break the game. Lily pads can be placed on any block that's waterlogged, creating illegal-looking setups like this. But you can make it look even weirder by placing sugarcane next to the lily pads. Another build hack is this weird new flower. Because this thing is 2 blocks tall when it's fully grown, you can put string above it to keep it at its 3rd stage, and use it to look like a weird, overgrown potato in your farms. A lot of the time, the builds you make look like they've been thrown into the world randomly and look super out of place. To fix this, try making shadows by placing slightly darker blocks near overhangs or edges. You can even add mossy blocks around trees to act as fallen leaves. The inside of a mangrove log looks suspiciously like a nice piece of juicy meat. Moving on. Using some lightning rods, armor stands, and a campfire, you can make a super tasty looking hog roast. And if you think this flame is too big, you can place an armor stand and lava underneath for a much tamer flame. If you've ever tried to use crops like wheat as decoration, you've probably run into this problem. However, this illegal build hack will fix that. Water can actually hydrate dirt across thin air, letting you make things like these garden pots without visible water. Try using an upside down lightning rod with a candle placed on top to make a weirdly tall torch. It won't be quite as bright, but hey, you can stand on the edge of the rod for some reason. Most of us know now that you can make a bird cage by simply just pushing some glass on top of a parrot. But come on, doesn't that feel cruel? Instead, give them some room to breathe with a hanging scaffolding cage like this. And to make sure our little friend is as happy as can be, try making this advanced bird bath. Place an armor stand with a helmet on top of 3 layers of snow. Then push a floor block and the wall down from above and finish with a slab and some signs. A netherite helmet might work better for some designs, but that's expensive. I think I'll just stick to leather. The most illegal item in all of vanilla Minecraft has to be the Debug Stick. You can only get it with commands, but it lets you do all sorts of crazy, weird things that literally feel like hacks. You can make strange beds with no pillows, white grass, cursed flower bushes, and even floating water. And pow! I'm outside your window. My favorite build hack to use the Debug Stick for, though, is to just add a little more interest to my creative builds. You can turn this strange and boring bamboo farm into something cool looking by connecting the fence and adding leaves to the bamboo. It's literally magic. Beehives kind of look like empty storage containers, so you can use them for extra decoration in a cluttered storage room or attic. They also work great as drawers or a bedside table. You can make any English letter in a 4x3 space using different combinations of slabs and stairs. This chart by Cookie Dough Bread shows you exactly to spell out anything you want super easily. There are tons of ways to add tiny details to your builds in Minecraft, but one of my favorites is this method of making footprints. Just chuck some invisible item frames down and then place some stake in them. All of a sudden, you've got some weirdly convincing looking footsteps. Unfortunately, you can only get invisible item frames in creative, but there's sort of a solution in survival. If you place a block in an item frame on the floor, a snow layer will fully cover up the item frame but leave the block exposed, allowing you to, I don't know, make pebbles or something? You know how to make a bird cage? How about an aquarium? This one's actually even easier, but probably just as cruel. All you have to do is surround a chest with trapdoors, place a glass block on top, then waterlog the chest with a bucket of fish, and boom! You've trapped him forever. Sorry, fishy. Cobwebs aren't just good for making a cave or mine shaft feel extra creepy. They're also good for adding custom smoke to chimneys and for adding a net to a basketball hoop. Most people know you can make a really convincing dead tree with stripped logs and mangrove roots. So instead, try creating a dead warped tree with muddy mangrove roots, dead coral, and hanging roots. Oh yeah, muddy mangrove roots with a candle on top makes a pretty convincing rotten melon if you ever need that for some reason. Rooted dirt finally gave us another dirt block that's not just gonna turn into grass instantly, giving us way more decoration options. One of my favorite ways to use this is to mix rooted and coarse dirt in a pattern like this to make wheel tracks through a forest. Did you know that mob heads fit perfectly on top of wall blocks? Skeleton skulls also match really well with andesite or diorite walls, zombie skulls with mossy cobble, and wither skulls with deep slate walls. I don't know what you could use this for other than making gravestones, but hey, you again! Stop taking my job! The nerve of some people. Anyway, ever wanted to play pool in Minecraft? Well, you can't, sorry to disappoint. But you can make a pretty cool looking pool table by placing signs like this underneath green carpets and then surrounding it with trapdoors. But for a build hack you can use, try building this hammock. Hook it up using fence gates on the side, then attach some stairs, trapdoors to place the bed on, and some signs to complete the shape. You can even change the bed color to match the wood type for peak color coordinated comfort. Banners can be used to add illegal levels of detail in builds, but they're not just for marking maps or making a crappy coat of arms. Take Nick's J-Man's incredible incredible train build he made using banners to perfectly match the real-life version. If people are literally making real trains now, what's your excuse? A waterlogged leaf block on top of a fence, or walls look suspiciously like a globe.
But Mallow, the Earth isn't square!
Well, actually, pow! See? Think building like a pro is difficult? Think again and watch this. If you're building walls like this, you're doing it all wrong. Instead, grab some blocks that are similar and scatter them around a bit. You can use stairs to add extra depth and even add patterns in front to make it extra interesting. And just like that, you're leveling up your building super easily. The same goes for floors, both inside and out. Spending a couple minutes making a block palette can add tons of detail, like adding beehives in with oak planks, brown mushrooms in with mud, and moss in with grass outside. There's tons of ways to make supersized versions of different foods in Minecraft. Obviously, you can use a sea pickle for a melon or pumpkin stem, but you can also put a mangrove popagule on top of a mangrove log for a bulbous beetroot, a warped vine on some honeycomb for a peculiar pineapple, and a sea pickle on another wart block for a tomato. For extra farm decoration, you can add barrels full of berries by placing coral blocks above water surrounded by trapdoors. This works with raw iron to make potato barrels, and you can even try making a larger version with crimson planks below as a grape stomping barrel outside a vineyard. Looms are one of the weirdest looking blocks in the game, but you can actually use them to make empty bookshelves, escalators, air conditioning units outside buildings, and cool looking roofs for your house. And if it's a detailed bookshelf you're going for, 1.20 added this secret way to put a 3D book model on a shelf. Just add an armor stand under the block you want like this, and place a leather helmet with a white coast armor trim applied. Push a block down from above and it'll look exactly like a spare book left out on the table. Here's how to make your pond 10 times better super easily. With waterlogged blocks, you can create detailed rocks in your pond with stairs and slabs that add a little extra detail and even give you a cool way to get across. Next, instead of the normal boring lily pads we have, try creating your own using 4 drip leaves and some flowering azalea leaves to make a big colorful lily pad. You can also use a bamboo trapdoor with pink candles on top if you're living in the future. And lastly, if it's a really big pond you're trying to decorate, try doing something similar with drip leaves, lily pads, and azalea leaves to create a huge floating algae mat. It's kinda gross though, doesn't smell good either. Oh wait, that's just me, my bad. Back in the alpha days of Minecraft, there used to be way less blocks and almost no ways to properly decorate your builds. This meant people had to create their own solutions. Since trapdoors didn't exist, people used to glitch regular doors into looking like trapdoors by breaking the bottom half with a cactus, finally letting them actually decorate their world just as Notch intended. We all know about chains, and I mentioned a way to make much bigger chains with grindstones in my last build hacks video. But if you need something a little smaller, try facing 2 sets of trapdoors into each other like this. To create a wooden chain, you can even change the color of. Buttons placed in invisible items on logs look suspiciously like bugs crawling all over it. Bugs that, by the way, you cannot eat. Do not, under any circumstances, ever eat the bugs. Ever! Speaking of bugs, in Bedrock Edition, you can place buttons on the top and bottom of fences, allowing for extra decoration. But in Java version, you can't do either. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but it's still kind of annoying. Red and yellow candles make really good ketchup and mustard bottles for a diner or bar. And green candles are perfect replicas of beer. Wait, did someone say beer? It's kind of annoying Minecraft's water can only ever be 1 block wide, meaning you can't make small droplets or tiny streams very easily. However, blue glass panes work as a perfect substitute for cases like this. The same goes for ice. How do we have ice and dripstone but no icicles? Well, maybe it's because Mojang knows that light blue glass panes do the job perfectly, but come on, I can't take out zombies with them, so what's even the point? Whenever you're building a hedge in your world, try placing podzol beneath the leaves. This both acts like a shadow, but also kind of looks like leaf litter or mulch beneath the hedge. I really like the word mulch, by the way. Mulch. Wait, what are we doing? Oh yeah, build hacks. Did you know you can place nether plants like crimson fungus or warped roots outside of the nether? What's really weird is that you can only place them on grass or dirt, not cobblestone. This is super weird to me because netherrack and cobble seem most similar to me. But I guess now we know netherrack is just like hard dirt. What? My head hurts. If you've got a cramped house like this one and you're trying to figure out where to put the ladder, try placing a line of trapdoors like this and putting the ladders on them. Alternatively, if you're uncreative, try using the debug stick to create floating ladders that take up even less space. Now that's ingenuity. Here's a cool way to make an armor stand look like it's holding a sword. Start by placing an end rod with a candle on top, then pushing an armor stand into it from behind. Then put some armor on it and push 2 blocks down behind it, and you have your very own knight in shining armor. And since you're obviously building a sick castle if you make this, you can make awesome ornate carpets using a combination of shulker boxes and glazed terracotta. Hey, I don't want to hear anything about how expensive shulkers are. You own a castle! As long as the colors are similar, it really doesn't matter how you lay out carpet. It'll look cool either way. If you're trying to make a dark, creepy cave, try adding shadowy cracks with signs inside. If you add this character to them, dye it red and add a glow ink sac. It'll create these super scary looking eyes that glow in the darkness. Come on, Grandma, take a look. Ah! If only I had 100k subscribers, maybe she'll revive herself. Subscribe!